baby, no one better. Texas crown on my head forever. Raise the lights, hear the crowd get loud. I'm the boss of the ring, I'm running this town.
Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are. It's the Logan Pettis Show. Once again, we call it the Logan Pettis Show. I'm Logan Pettis. It's my show. We talk about whatever I want to talk about, and you listen to it, I guess. Today, we have Nawf on the show, the host of Talk and Listening. Right there it is.
Sir.
Gentlemen, we have to have Nawf on the show because I don't know, Nawf, how much you know this, but actually, your show kind of inspired this show, minus the
Oh,
entertainment.
I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Don't say that about yourself.
No. So, I mean, if you guys haven't seen Nawf's show, where you been? And I'm going to get him to talk a little bit about his show and what it's about. That's what we do here. But, yeah, his show is, I won't say a lot more entertainment driven. You do more stuff. I am your classic, dare I say, Rush Limbaugh. I don't know. I'm just thinking of talk show host thing. I don't get political. If anybody saw my last episode, that's as close to political as I get. If my guest wants to get political, cool. Actually, you said you saw it. I've been watching parts of your most recent episode, and I haven't made it all the way through it. Every time I watch Nawf's show, inevitably, and people know this from watching my show, I get like grumpy because somebody will say, we were just talking about it at the top of the show. People make weird assumptions about me, and it's like, what was it, the episode where Nastico came on and you asked him about the manager of the year thing? And it's like we're going to skirt around talking about me.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And it's like, bro.
Yeah, that was a while back, yeah.
It's been about, I won it, well, it's right here. The actual plaque is right here. That's 2021. So, yeah, 2020, 21.
I think,
COVID.
yeah, because we had Nastico like 2022, I think. It was fresh in his head, so we tried to talk about it.
Yeah, and I mean, that makes sense. That's just like I really didn't want to do, the Charlie Kirk episode, as it were, but it was the topic of the day, and when you don't have a guest, I mean, I've got to talk about something, because I pay Riverside FM, shout out to you guys for providing this sweet, awesome software. I'll give you a plug, even though you make me pay for it. But anyway...
Sponsor.
Right, yeah. Throw me a free deal here. So, anyway, Nawf Ramos, tell us about Talk and Listening. What are we about?
Talk and Listening is about inviting guests from all over Texas. It's become mainly indie wrestlers now. Beforehand, it was just, random. But now, very wrestling driven. We have them come over, and if they want to drink beer, they can drink beer. If not, they can have the water, whatever. But I'm going to drink my beer, and I'm going to ask you some dumb questions.
I have, I won't drink it, but just so it's here. We got some real American.
Okay, real American. I finished my case from when I met him already, so.
It's okay.
It's really okay.
It's.
No, yeah, so, my bad.
No, go for it. Talk.
No, yeah, it's just I'm going to drink my beer, and I'm going to ask y'all a bunch of dumb questions. I'm going to touch on the wrestling side of it for, briefly, 15, 20 minutes, but then it takes a turn to where we're going to ask you dumb stuff about who plays you in a movie, your favorite food. We're going to read a script.
Yeah, we read a script. I was on the show. It's been about a year now. Actually, and we'll get into this here in a second, but yeah, I was toying with the idea of doing this show, goes back a few years, and it still goes back to, what you were doing over there. I was like, I can talk to people.
And you're better at it than I am.
I don't know about that.
No, I don't know what I'm doing. 5 years in, I'm still the drunk host who's winging it.
I mean, that's kind of what we do here. It's just conversation. And then sitting down, and I mean, I'm sure you'll downplay it, but it's like I'm kind of even impressed as to the way you set it up and the way the thing is. And I mean, folks, those of you that haven't been on the show, and most of you, I won't say might not be, I sound real presumptuous and pretentious when I say that. No, you go into, literally, it's like Nawf's bedroom, and there's this thing and a table, there it is. I mean, that's where we are here.
And
sitting at my desk.
I've had multiple guests walk in and be like, I did not know it was your bedroom. Because I guess on camera you can't tell.
It looks bigger. I don't even know if bigger.
That too.
It does. It looks bigger. It looks smaller. It looks like some sort of set.
Yeah.
So that tells you one day, if you ever have the space, you could probably just build a set that looks like your bedroom. There's a guy...
Next year, I should have space.
Cool. Cool deal.
So we'll see.
But yeah, I know there's a guy on YouTube that I watch every so often, and he built a set for his podcast, and he started out in his basement, and he literally just recreated his basement in this garage next door. He's got steps that go to nothing. Anyway, so I talked a little bit about that. I said your show kind of influenced this show, even though they're similar, they're different. Like you said, you came on and wanted to just talk to people, and that's what I want to do. I've got a slew of interesting friends, Nawf being one of them. You've seen on my show Heather, Sneathan, and Pink, and the lovely Carolina Teague. I will always give props to Carolina for coming on this show and
Same here. Like,
saying
we
wonderful.
had her on twice, and she's so busy.
Oh yeah. I wanted her to come up. We'll talk about this maybe here in a minute. I don't know if you're a Rockets guy, so you probably could care less. But like Project Marvel,
Yeah.
You
I know what
live there. We get into this. So I talked about your show inspiring what inspired your show? What brought that about?
It was actually me and my cousin drinking on the patio, and he was like, "We should start a podcast." That's how it always goes. We're just
What?
and yeah, he was just like, "We should start a podcast." I was like, "Bet, let's try to get some mics." I ended up paying for all the mics. We looked for a third. It ended up being my friend X. And the first 4 episodes, it was just us bullshitting, and then we started getting messages like, "Hey, if you need a guest, I'll come on." And the first one was like Dylan Dunbar, and then it was Chino Reyes, and it just Carolina was in our first season too. It just started, yeah. So, and it was like it slowly turned into like, oh, we're gonna have guests now. So the inspiration was literally just us on the patio drinking.
And I mean, it's become the place to be if you're an indie wrestler in the San Antonio area, and
Oh, I appreciate that.
even if it's Nastico. I mean, that's Dallas area and whatever. But you had Nastico.
Yeah.
You had the whole DFW cartel at one point, right?
Yeah, like we've had, and that's what shocks me is that
You fit
people
Angel
when they come in.
into that room.
No, actually, he hasn't been on.
He hasn't been on. Okay. I wasn't sure. In my head, it was Lou.
Nastico brought someone with him. I don't remember his name, but it was his bodyguard, and he stood there by the door the whole time. No, but it always shocks me when people are like, they come into town, they're like, I can make time to come on the podcast. Or I even have people like drive from Austin when they get off work, like, yeah, I'm down. They come in and then they drive back home. I'm like, that's crazy. Yeah, like you drove over an hour?
Something
Or
like that.
about an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And even at that, we sat out there and talked about
Yes.
starting this show outside, because I've only been going now for almost a year-ish. I don't know exactly when I got the wild hair and just decided to start doing this. And yeah, it's something. Yeah, so Talcan is the place to be if you are a independent wrestler in Texas. It seems like that's where everybody wants to go to get over. So yeah, that show. We're going to talk about. All right, let's go into you live there. What is going on with Project Marvel? What is this? I get it from like the radio and the news. Does the mayor really hate the Spurs that much?
It seems that way. And I'm not even a Spurs fan. I think I like the Spurs more than the mayor does.
So
I respect the Spurs.
okay, so and I'll get heel heat for saying this. On one hand, okay, hear me out. On one hand, I understand what she's saying. She's like, why should we put all this money into this basketball arena for a team, when the city's 100 some odd years old? It's like 200 and... Is the city 200 something? Anyway, we had a city for over 100 years before the Spurs ever showed up, right? And she's like, before we spend all this money, can we look into some research? Now, that said, she's a politician. She's got other reasons for wanting to do this, and I haven't figured out what they are. Because to me, looking at it from an outsider, again, I don't pay taxes in San Antonio anymore. I lived there for about 3-4 years, something like that. Yeah, the pros outweigh the cons to me. As long as we can do something with the parking down there around the Alamo Dome, because
Oh God, yeah, the parking is a disaster.
But keeping the prestige of having an NBA team in your city, building a multi-million dollar, billion dollar at this point entertainment complex seems like a great idea.
And I guess I see both sides of it, because the Spurs, they're all San Antonio has as far as sports. I mean, because it brings in a lot of revenue because they have the missions, but that's minor leagues. There's no football team, well, unless you count the Brahmas. But then I see the other side of it where the what they play now. I don't even know what it's called. It's called the AT&T Center still, probably.
No,
It's not.
It's not the AT&T Center now. It's the
It just
Frost
what is it
Bank
called?
Arena. The Frost.
There. Okay, that arena's not that old. I think it's
No.
maybe what 15, 20 years tops.
And that's where I come in the other way. I'm like, this is cool to have. Is it necessary? And that's at least that's the direction I feel like Mayor Jones is coming from. Is this building's
Yeah.
not that old? Now, I'm sure you've been in the nosebleeds of that thing. You
Oh yeah.
get like freaking vertigo.
I hate it so. I don't like walking up those stairs because then when I want to go back down to get a beer or use the restroom, it is scary.
We got tickets, Rampage tickets. We used to go see the hockey all the time, and I remember one time it's like,
Yeah.
we're gonna cheap out and we're gonna sit up in the shelf up here. No, I got up there. I was like, can't do it.
No.
I won't say that I'm necessarily like terrified of heights or anything, but once I got up there, it was like one of these, and I was like,
No, yeah, it's not even being terrified of heights. It's just the way you're looking like straight down.
I'd rather
Yeah.
jump off the top rope. I don't,
Yeah. And then you're squeezed in the chair with people next like this, and it's
So, I mean, I guess that'd be the major flaw with Frostbank, AT&T Center, whatever you want to call it, is that people can't comfortably sit up in the thing. But yeah, as you're saying, that building's what, 20 years old?
yeah, more or less.
'Cause
So it's not that old.
No, and it's a very nice facility compared to,
Yeah.
say, the Alamo Dome, which I went. The last time I went, we went saw Elton John, and that's where I started cussing.
Rocket
people,
Man.
trying to park. And then there's no real handicap access. There's no elevators in that place. I go in there.
Yeah. Oh God.
Same thing with, but there weren't. That was the only event I think I've attended. Royal Rumble wasn't even that bad. Elton John.
Yeah, I went to that one.
Probably one of the biggest events that I've ever been to at the Alamo Dome. Because I'd gone to see the year the Royals won the World Series, of course, being from Kansas City area, even though they suck again. Right. Yeah, even though the Royals suck some more, but, I stayed with them when I was a kid through...
I get it. I'm a Cowboys fan. I get it.
Well, right. You can relate to me. I was going to say, I was a Chiefs fan growing up in that area for a long time.
Y'all are good now.
Are they? This
Shout out Taylor Swift.
year's kind of... But no, so that was probably the biggest event that I'd been to was there, and I'm like, I can understand now why the Spurs left and wanted something a little... AT&T Center's a little smaller, a little more intimate as far as going to see a basketball game. So,
Yeah.
do we need a new arena downtown? Not really. Now, I feel like the entertainment complex would be a good idea. And then I guess that's the other part. If I'm mayor of San Antonio right now and they're wanting to tear up more of my downtown, which is where all of my hot money, hotel, motel money, and tourist money and all that stuff comes from, I'd flip out.
Yeah.
Because I don't know if anybody's been downtown lately. It's a madhouse with all the stuff now, the Alamo looks great. I went and stayed at the Minger a month ago, and all of that around the Alamo looks awesome right now. But they've got that torn up. They've got going down to Mercado, that's all jacked up.
It's a lot of construction, and it never ends.
And to add more construction on top of the construction, it's like, do we really want to do this and drive people? Because I don't like going down there.
Me neither.
I barely like making it to the RCW events because of the construction on 10. It's like, ugh.
Yeah.
It's not that it's a bad drive, it's just jacked up.
Yeah, it's annoying. It's inconvenient.
Yeah. Let's see. We're steering this ship here. So, speaking of wrestling events, can I just say that I feel like since your co-host is Mr. Stash, Mr. Campos over there, you need to get on him and tell him that he owes you a $15 burrito. And if he won't pay for that, Casey Blackrose, I know, can afford it.
I will give credit to Casey. He did ask me for my Cash App after the show. So I'll give him credit.
What
I was standing there eating my
eating a
burrito,
burrito? And so
and then someone shouted, "Watch out for your burrito!" And because they're fighting, I was like, "Yeah." And then I think that's when it clicked in Casey's head, and he came up to me. I was like, "I'm grabbing your burrito," and yeah.
wrestlers.
I mean, I will admit I was upset. I took like 3 bites of it. It did cost $15.
It did.
It was a good burrito, but it made for a good
It was
good clip.
entertaining. It was entertaining, but yeah, no, I feel for you in the burrito. Anytime I pay $15 for anything, it's like, no, hey, this is why I don't.
Yeah,
This is why I don't go to shows, people. You wonder
I'll
why
take your shit.
you wonder why you never see Logan Pettis at a show. The last time I went to a show as a fan, I will tell you this: Baby D grabbed my belt.
Oh, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, this was Sabotage. Okay, okay. In this same show, we'll get to that. Okay, hang on. But Baby D grabs my belt, and Rod Bradley. Rod.
Oh yeah,
used
he
to-
had the belt.
Yeah, and he always carries his strap with him, and so Phoebe took
Yeah.
his, and it was the them versus maybe the Sea Stars. Gosh, this is a long time ago.
No, that is a long time ago.
Yeah, and if the Sea Stars lost, Baby D and Phoebe got 10 minutes in the ring with Nastico. And so, yeah, she walks over and she goes, "Give me your belt now." And yeah, so it's like she runs off
Give her the belt. Yeah.
holding my pants up the whole time while she's just whipping Nastico, which was well worth it. And then after the show, he's like, "You want to see the welts on my ass?" And I'm like, "Nah, bro."
I bet it was rowdy.
I said, "Nah, bro, I'm real good." And yeah, no, that's a long time. And then let's see what else stupid has happened to me at a wrestling show. Oh, that same show, there was a wrestler named Savannah Stone, and
That one I don't remember.
I think she's mostly in California now. She was, I'm
okay.
thinking like St. Louis or something. Anyway, she walks out and she does like, I don't even know that I'd say that's the Triple H water spit, but she just gets right next to me, and I know somebody had to have put her up to it, but she gets like right here and just
And that's why you stopped going to shows.
exactly. And it's like, what do you do at this point? Another one was actually looking back on it. I think it was, well, no, I don't want to break kayfabe. Never mind. But
Okay.
it was, yeah, oh, fine, screw it. This is not a wrestling show. It was Armani Sage before he was Armani Sage. I was managing Mysterious Q at Good Shepherd, and Q had issued a open challenge for the belt, and out comes Hardcore JP Harlow, and
Oh yeah.
he comes out to the Sandman gimmick, and he like the whole inner Sandman and the whole thing, and he walks over and he gets a hot dog. I'm pretty sure it was Armani Sage, pre-Armani Sage, but he was just there as a fan. He has his hot dog, and he takes a bite out of it, and I think he like threw it at me or stuffed it down my shirt or something like that. I'm gonna have to go back and watch the tape now, but yeah, it's like, no, people wonder why I hate wrestling fans so much. I know.
Yeah. To me, I do like when they use me. I'm not gonna lie. Once they take something from me or push me off a chair. Huh?
I want to say somebody got in between me and like they shoved me and Cedric together or something and used us as human shields or something one time. And it's like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
But no, that's messed up though. They did that to your burrito. Don't mess with a man's food.
Yeah, especially because I was hungry. I got off work, went straight to the show.
See?
But it is what it is. Good content. Good content.
It's something. So back to doing shows, and I talked about some of my favorite guests, or at least, two of them. Somewhere Pink is going. Who's been your favorite guest on the show?
It's gonna be Maddie.
I wished her a happy Rins Day today.
Yeah, it's
And I got a big heart, and that made me happy.
yeah. I miss her.
I do too.
I was lucky enough to have her on twice, and the last time she was on, when we finished the show, we were talking in the living room, and I told her, I was like, "This is it. Like, you're not coming back on Tall Can because I know you're right there." And sure enough, like maybe 4 months later,
I'm sure you watch more wrestling than I do. What are they doing with her right now, other than putting her in silly vignettes?
they have her, just running around with Charlie Dempsey and lately Kendall Gray, and she's just trying to keep the NQCC together after losing 2 members. And I feel like she's the glue of it,
Oh,
which is an important piece.
well, because I'm probably the worst wrestling fan in the history of wrestling fans, as in, like, I think part of it, too, is I'm so overwhelmed. I'm, of course, the general manager of River City Wrestling, and I have to keep that ship sailing. But once I'm done with that, it's like if I just go home and I don't watch wrestling at all, and it's because I'm so overwhelmed by it. There's so much of it going on. And then to the point, sometimes I feel bad when we bring somebody into RCW and all the kids, I say the kids because I'm like the old man in the room now.
Yeah.
They're all excited and they're like I have no idea who this person is. And then I have to go to like Brandon. I'm like, who is this? And then he explains, NWA. And they're Thomas Lattimore. Latimer.
Yeah.
Was
Let him. Oh, don't shit. I don't know.
Don't get you lying.
I don't know how to say it.
Is it? I can't remember if it's Latimer.
Vladimir.
I'm sorry, Tom, but I still to this day say that he's one of my favorite people that I've ever had the opportunity to work with because, he sat me down after him, and Bushwhacker Luke was another good one. But
Yeah.
I mentioned Tom because I have to watch what I say because I want to just spout it out there in my own way and be like, well, nobody knows who he is. Okay, that's not true. He's the NWA. I think he's the current NWA heavyweight champion right now. But Logan doesn't know who he is.
Yeah.
Well, I respect what he's doing. I know who he is now. Uncle Wiggley's.
And that makes sense because I'll admit I didn't watch much NXT until Maddie got signed, and I was like, well, I gotta tune in now to see what she's doing because I'm always gonna support for her.
Maddie and Roxy, who's doing
Yeah.
crazy stuff. But yeah, no, he sat me down and he's like, all right, I like what you're doing as a manager and this and that. And you try to work on this, and next time this happens, what did you? And Bushwhacker Luke said kind of said the same thing, and it was a high honor for me. He's like, oh, you know who you remind me of? You remind me a lot of young Jim Cornette. And I was like, thank you.
Okay.
Yeah, he's like, I like your very old school 80s thing that you got going there, mate. Congratulations, it's really good. Can you tell me where the bathroom is in this place? And then for some reason he got in front of me as I was like showing him at the Grand Event Center where the bathroom is. So the whole time I'm behind him, like,
Yes. He's marking out.
dude, I am. I don't care. I'm a big mark.
Me too.
I'm gonna take the pictures at the shows. I don't care if I'm the RCW general manager. It doesn't matter.
That's what I'm saying. That's how I feel because I post a lot of pictures after shows, and people are like, you have like 8 pictures with that one part. Like they're like, you have 7 pictures with Callie already. Why do you need another one? I was like, because I'm a fan. I like who I like in wrestling. I don't care if I have 7 with Callie, 6 with Stash. I'm still a mark.
Always take the picture. Well, it's different because there's an unwritten rule. If you're a worker, you're not supposed to be taking pictures in the back. I was taught that. I was trained that way. For anybody that wants to say Logan was never trained, I was trained. I will drive that into the ground until we're blue in the face here. Do I constantly train like some people? Well, no. I was trained to be a manager. I was trained to take, a basic back bump. I can't do a forward roll to save my life, and I know how to poke you in the eye. But no, they tell you that it's like, well, if you want to be a mark, your place is out there in the seats. And it's like, well, okay. I said, and that's fair, and that might have flown once upon a time, but
Yeah.
I was like, all of us were marks or we wouldn't be in this locker room right now because there ain't a one of us left from the days of Frank Gotch. So there you go. Even though I can get into a whole thing about, how wrestling's a different place than it was and yada, 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 yada. We all know
Yeah.
that. But I say nobody's ever promised tomorrow. I'll get emotional here in a second. But nobody's promised tomorrow. Take the picture.
Take the picture. Take the
I
picture.
met this man 3 months before he died.
Yeah.
And they were selling, I remember one of the things they were selling, I don't have it up here, I'm looking at my stash. I've got my Python Power bandana up here, but I remember, I tell this story all the time, they were selling the Real American Beer Trucker hat. And this guy walked by me, and he says, yeah, we're selling these hats. I was like, how much? And he goes, $50. I was like, the hell with you, $50. No way.
That's crazy.
And then I went, so there's a voice in the back of my head, and this is the eerie thing about Hulk Hogan, and I talked about this on one of the shows, but the voice in my head went, that man's not going to be around forever. And you can say what you want to about Hulk Hogan. You know, we can gripe about Terry all day long, but, you know, I said that, and I said, you're going to regret it one of these days when, you know, he's dead and gone. And it's like, yeah, you've got the picture. And so I did. I coughed up the $50 for the hat, and he signed it, and, you know, and then, because I bought the case of beer. I guess all that's at the shop. And, you know, that was like $10. But, yeah.
I felt the same way. I went to go meet him at the liquor store, and I was like, for that moment, I separated Hulk Hogan and Terry. I was like, I'm going to meet.
You have to.
Hulk Hogan for younger Nawf, and I did it, and we took our picture, and it was I was like, okay, and it's like you said, a few months later,
and you know. That was such a fun month because I had to stop, and they're trying to get you through, right? Did they have that situation? Yeah. Well, was Jimmy Hart there? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, you know, Jimmy Hart's there, and he's got which is the coolest part. Jimmy Hart recognized me from RCW.
Oh, that's awesome.
Well, and I don't know if we'll shout them out here in a second too. If Raul and Donna had said something because they just had the meet and greet with Jimmy, but I'd met him before at RCW, and that's what he said. He looked at me and he goes, River City Wrestling. And I was like, yes, sir. He goes, aren't you the manager? Awesome. Aren't you the manager of the year? I said, yes, sir, I am. He goes, well, you keep doing what you're doing, baby. And then he got on his megaphone and went back into, you know, make sure you got your phone ready so that way you don't upset the Hulkster or whatever it was he was saying.
Yep.
But yeah, no, so they're trying to get you through in this meet and greet, you know, so you do the thing and the handshake and you're out. Yeah. But I had to stop. And they're like, sir, I said, 3 seconds here. And I did. I sized him up and down. And I said, all right. I said, I want to take in the moment that I'm meeting Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
You at least give me that. And he did a, you know something, brother, or whatever. He said, I have my Uncle Wiggley's Wieners t-shirt on. Uncle Wiggley's Wieners. He goes, proud to be part of the team, brother, or something like that. I was like, did you just make a gay reference or something? Did you think?
Well,
do you think? Never mind.
He asked me what my hoodie said. And it said it's from a shop called Assholes Live Forever.
Okay.
So it had cats drinking tequila, and it said I eat kitty. And after he read it, he made like a face, and then that was it. And I told Sarah, I was like, well, that's a moment I won't forget, I guess.
But that's my, I said that was my big takeaway from it. Never mind getting the beer, meeting Hulk Hogan. I got to hear him say the name of my business, the silly name of my stupid business, and I can take away from that. But no, that's what I'm saying. Always take the picture,
Yeah.
There are so many opportunities where I didn't, and either that person isn't in the business, and I'll never get that opportunity anymore. Shiva Queen Sarah is one of those people.
Yeah.
I'm glad that I have the picture. That's one of my favorite pictures of me in her t-shirt. And she's just like...
Yeah. No, I miss her.
I do too.
Hey, Logan. Hey, Logan.
What?
You're going to hate me. I warned you before the show.
Oh, man.
Yeah. It'll give me like 1 minute.
Got it. Sorry. I can fill time.
1 minute. Okay.
Nawf is leaving, and there he goes. No, so I feel like I should do a commercial, like, when we come back. Or I could do a commercial right now for Uncle Wiggley's Wieners. Folks, you're going to want to get to Uncle Wiggley's Wieners soon. Once again, take the picture, get while the getting's good before it's gone, folks. We're going to keep yammering on about pictures. When Nawf comes back, we don't have any decent questions from the internet because some of y'all can't like anything serious. We got to ask silly questions like, what's it like to be bald?
What? What happened?
What? Oh, I was just telling the folks, it's like you put out, hey, you want to ask Nawf a question, and people can't be serious.
Yeah, that's my demographic.
Right, and then it's like, let's talk about RCW, and I'm like, what about it? What about RCW?
I saw that. I saw all the comments. I saw Pink jumped in, asked, she wanted to ask about Cali or something.
Oh, well, I guess we talk about Cali. You've got like a weird love-hate relationship with what is she? La chica más picosa. La compañona del RCW, question mark.
Yeah. As much as I like giving her shit, I'm a fan. I'll admit it.
You know, I can't help but be. I just had this discussion actually with Mr. Oliver this week about how fun it's been. I think Callie and Tita's class might be the first class that I actually have seen through from the start. I pay attention to what's going on at hybrid to a point. I'm sure they don't think that I do, but yeah, I remember I was there when Callie showed up to become a referee the first night. We were trying to figure out what to call her, because if anybody's been to an RCW show, we have what, Vance Jackson and
All the streets.
General Hudnall.
Yeah, Vance Jackson's the only one that stands out, but I know they're all streets.
I think Vance Jackson's the only one still left, actually.
Floyd Curl was one.
We had Perrin Beidel.
Yeah.
And then I always joked that Nick Warmack, we used to talk about, he was North New Braunfels Avenue. But they said, what do we call her when she came up, and it was South Zarzamora?
Was that hers?
That was my suggestion, and they were like, what? No. I said, Guadalupe Zarzamora right there. I said, the Pizza Patron with the McDonald's and the meat market across. Anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah. I used to do security.
Real South Side.
Yeah, I used to do security. Well, I lived off like Marbach and military, so I'm the only white dude.
Yeah.
Only white on the block. And what was my address? Like 2228 Stimmel Street or something like that. But yeah, so my job, I would go to that McDonald's and do security. And I remember there was a dude there named Flaco, who used to sell drugs at the bus stop right there. And he'd tell me, he'd go, yeah, man. He goes, Flaco likes you. He'd refer to himself in the third person. I could write a book about the people just right there. And then there was the lady that pushed the cart, the homeless lady that would always find the stuff and try to sell it in the parking lot. And I'd be like, ma'am, you can't sell this out in the parking lot. And McDonald's would get mad at me because I'd take a roll of quarters and I'd buy them all coffee.
No, like, why would they get mad?
Because they didn't like the riffraff in the store. I'm supposed to be keeping them out, and here I am just...
Oh, you're right. Okay, I guess I see
I'm
it.
buying them coffee, but it's like they're hanging out anyway. And I'm like, I don't have the heart to kick them out, especially in the summertime. It was what it was. But even then, okay, it's ungodly hot in San Antonio, Texas in the summer. And then in the wintertime, it's ridiculously cold. Well, 6 one, half a dozen of the other, I'd let them come in the air conditioning, and then, I'd be like, all right, y'all been in here, come back.
So they're probably, McDonald's probably thought you were terrible at your job.
I'm sure they did. And I probably...
Yeah.
But even at that, though, I kept like... We'll get into that story here in a second. But I can't... This is supposed to be about you, Nawf. This is a commercial for your show. Get people to watch your show. Here I am talking about my nonsense. But, no, so... Anyway, yeah, I give him, but there's that lady, and then there's the guy that read his Bible all the time. But Flaco said that, he says, yeah, man, Flaco likes you. He goes, not like... I can't say that. Never mind. I was going to say something.
Okay.
Racial slur in Spanish, but...
No, I can't say it either. I was about to. Commercial.
Yeah, dump, now. But he'd say, the other guy that works here.
Yes.
He'd say, he's disrespectful, man. He goes, and one of these days, I'm going to let him get his throat slit, man. He goes, I will take care of you. You need anything, you just come to Flaco.
Sounds like San Antonio.
Yeah, and I was like, yes, sir. No, that's where the cop came, and he saw me because I'm just this little fat, unarmed guard, walking around like I'm hot shit. And he said, what are you doing? What are you doing out here unarmed? Like, I look like Paul Blart. I had the white shirt and the whole thing. And so he said, what are you doing out here unarmed? And, like, I learned a lot there. It was like, I'm not going to make that comment. Something stupid popped into my head, and it's like, don't say that.
Mm.
But no, he's like, you gotta rock some steel toe boots, and he got me a duty belt and he said, look, he goes, you carry some OC spray on you and a baton and the whole. I was like, he goes, you're supposed to be certified for this crap, but yeah, you can't be hanging out down here with nothing. And I was like, all right.
Yeah, exactly. Especially on that side of town.
But at that McDonald's, no, there was a guy that came in and literally started like beating on his girlfriend in the thing, and I stopped that.
Jesus.
I put an end to that. And then the most insane one was this guy wandered in and he had a pistol on him. And he says to me, no, he walks up and he goes, hey man, I'm having a mental breakdown and I got this gun. I might hurt somebody. I don't know. And again, bought him coffee. sat down with him. I had to have this conversation, and the whole time I'm like pissing myself. I'm like, this is terrible.
Well, yeah, I wouldn't have even approached him.
I'm not.
I would have.
Well, I called the police immediately, and then it's like, all right, let's
Yeah.
see if we can get this guy to. I'm shaking thinking about it, but trying to get this guy to just chill out. Like he seemed like he was really cool, but he's crying the whole time he's telling me this. Like, I don't know where he came from. He was a white dude, which was uncharacteristic for that part of town, and I'm not trying to be anyway.
No, you're right. You're right.
But yeah, and that was one of the scariest moments I've ever had in security, and I think that might have been the moment I called and said, "Get me off of this site now. I don't ever want to be here ever again." That was the end of it. I know people are going to watch this and be like, "Well, Logan's trying to big himself up, make him seem like he's this, hostage negotiator. I'm a tough guy." I'm really not. I can talk, I guess, is what it is. I guess I had enough wherewithal in me at that moment, because I don't remember if I broke down and cried after that, but I feel like I probably did.
Even if you did, it's fine.
Yeah, right. No, I mean, 100% transparency. I'm not trying to play tough guy here, but I know
I cry.
I'm probably killing kayfabe, but it doesn't matter. This isn't a wrestling show once again, and Vince McMahon's already destroyed whatever's left. But
Yeah.
so back to you. Let's talk about Nawf.
Okay.
This is what I intentionally designed these shows to be about. This is what I do. We want to talk about other things I was trained to do, and talking and filling time is one of them, even though sometimes I'm god awful at it. I don't know, were you there? Not this last show. Maybe it was RCW Mania. Were you there for RCW Mania?
Where was? Oh, no.
This year it was at the church.
No, I wasn't there.
I had an idea. I was watching WrestleMania here at the house, and I said, I like what Tessitore's doing, where he's walking you through Gorilla and whatever. And I told Brandon, I said, can I do that? Can we get title match or even Franco? We got to talk about that, too.
Wrestling tacos.
Yeah, I said, get somebody to just film me, and I'd love to just walk through and, this is the gorilla position and the whatever, just fill time. And he goes, yeah, okay, we don't have a pre-show match, just go out there and talk. And I went, okay. I walked out there, and he goes, really? He goes, lean into be Vince McMahon. And so I wore my tux tails and my thing, and welcome to RCW Mania. And now, here to perform America the Beautiful, Aretha Frank. No. Ray.
No.
No. Boys to... No? All right. Well, to hell with that. And then I was going to go into what's everybody doing? What's going to be? What are you looking forward to, Nawf? What match is exciting for you? Well, right before I did that, because apparently we don't have any communication, Carolina walks out and goes, hi, everybody. What's your favorite match going to be tonight? And what you going to... And I was like, you can ask, because Stud Stash was sitting there, and I walked in the back cussing. I was pissed. I got, bitch! She's stealing my shtick.
I can imagine how chaotic shit gets before the show starts.
Yeah, and so she's stealing my gimmick. And to her credit, Carolina, you didn't know. And then, I'm up here, and at this point, I'm like, all right, well, I don't know what to do now that she's done this. And so I just started going into, I did Brandon's shtick. I did morons, losers, and sexless geeks. Let's pop the crowd. And it's like, okay. And so that went over like a lead balloon, and thank God they sent Eliana out there. What was great too is she runs out like this. I said, she's acknowledging me. And then there's Tommy, which we'll talk about. Yeah, we got to talk about Tommy. We've got a match to set up. Tommy there, and he goes, she would never.
That's a good Tommy. If I close my eyes, do it again. Let me close my eyes. That's insane.
I hate it. I hate every minute. In my sleep, I hear that laugh.
I think everyone does.
And I have done nothing.
But you're very good at it.
I have done nothing to that man to deserve such disrespect. And let's talk about that. Let's talk about our feelings on the Countdown City WrestleCast and its surly band of characters. Being, of course,
I think
they suck. They are the number 2 podcast, of course, with me following directly behind, because I think 10 people watch this show. And it's probably...
Talk is known for its dozens of fans.
That was mean and kind of petty, and I'll get in trouble for that later, I'm sure. But, yeah, dude, they suck.
Yeah.
They suck hard.
Yes.
And they suck mostly because they won't have me on the show.
I haven't been on their show either.
See, what kind of crap is that? I've at least been on Nawf's show.
Yeah, exactly. They won't have me.
I'm due again.
I brought up the idea.
Yes, you birthed the idea for the show. But I'm due again to be on Tall Can eventually. Maybe not so much in character, or maybe this will just count as some sort of weird crossover between the two.
I did take a Nawf pee break, so
He did take a pee break. This is like an official Tall Can episode. And we've managed to laugh a lot and talk about nothing. And then I hijack my own show, but it's my show. My name's in the bottom right here. Watch.
Yeah.
I'm going to point at this, and then, because I can see that my shirt is backwards on the thing, but by the time you people see it, it'll be fine.
Oh, because mine's backwards on my thing. I was like, oh, fuck.
Okay. Yeah, no. So it will flip. So I'm pointing at the logo down here. Watch. It's going to freaking wind up over here somewhere.
Okay, no, yeah, because your shirt looks fine. It looks the right way.
That's funny. See, I don't know anything about this software. I barely know what I'm doing here.
Me neither. I had to download the software. You lied to me.
But you know what? You had to download the software?
It made me download the app.
No way. That's crazy. Because now I'm gonna have to ask. Pink if she had to download the software, because I don't.
I mean, it wasn't a big deal. I was just like, he lied. And then it took like a minute.
The only reason I say that, and here we're going to digress into this thing on camera, but whatever, who cares? We're just padding that runtime at this point. But no, because when I originally set this up with this thing, because some people do it, I do another podcast, shout out for my own projects, but I just lost what it's called, the Magic Q podcast with a guy named Art, and we talk a lot about Disney stuff. We're both kind of like Disney parks nerds. That's why you can't really see it, but like, I got Hey just hanging out over here.
Okay.
Yeah, I got Hey, and then my official Disney name badge right there.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, but we do that podcast, and we talk about the Disney parks and stuff. And I think he just does like a Zoom meeting thing and then edits that together somehow, which we're going to talk about. Let's just do like podcast 101, because even at this, I've asked this question on this show several times before we start ripping into Countdown City WrestleCast again, because they absolutely suck. Because even though Nawf and I are just kind of riffing it right now, we're still more prepared and still know what we're talking about more than those guys do, who sit there and go, what happened this week? I don't know. And then, just...
I can't get over your Tommy laugh. It's so good.
Tommy's going to sue me now, because that's probably copywritten or something. What were we talking about? We're talking about your most fun guest. We talked about Maddie.
Yeah.
Can we talk about the thing? Nawf got in trouble. Let's talk about that. Let's just deflect from me for a second. Talk about Nawf getting in trouble with a TNA star, which I do all the time. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't even know what you said. And I went and watched.
I didn't say anything.
You just
My guest
went off
said
of
something.
Okay. Well, right. Okay. And I went back and watched the episode, trying to find it, and even I think what made the situation worse is I took it and made it a clip, like a reel, and that's when it like took off. 'Cause I'm all about content, so I'm like, if I know something's gonna make numbers, make people talk, I'm gonna clip it, post it, and yeah, this was a bad one. This show, we never have like soundbiteable moments. I might find a sound clip of me doing the Tommy laugh now.
No, you have to. That is very good.
But so I'm not gonna mention this person by name, but basically. Okay, and take this, though, and I think I might have commented this. If I didn't, I thought it and was going to, and then got distracted and did something else and made a sandwich, and I don't know. But that means this person, or at least their people, watch your show. You've got you got eyeballs on your show you didn't even know you had.
Yeah, which it could be good and bad.
But no, so he comes out and says, let's call this person Logan Pettis. And he said, basically, or the guest said along the lines of, Logan Pettis is wearing a red Tall Can listening shirt, which we can all clearly see. We know Logan's wearing a tall can listening shirt. It's matter of fact. They spat out a factual thing that we all know, and this celebrity wrestler got pissed about it.
I found out it was more so her people were upset about it.
Still.
Yeah.
It's common knowledge that this person is this person. It's allegedly, as long as we say allegedly, we can probably say anything we want to about this person. You know, just like...
You can say anything you want about anyone.
It's true. Allegedly. Allegedly, this person is this person.
But that's why you got to start putting I learned, start saying disclaimers before the show starts or during the show.
So for the first time, because of this incident, again, we draw inspiration from Tall Can, and that is to say, we just rip it off sometime. But for the first time on the last show, I put the disclaimer up, and it's like
I saw it.
The views and opinions of Logan Pettis do not necessarily reflect the views and opinions of Brandon Oliver or River City Wrestling or Hybrid or anybody else for that matter, or sane people. I should just keep going with it. What's the one that comes on?
Start listing the whole roster.
What's the one that comes on before South Park that says the celebrity voices here are impersonated poorly?
Oh yeah. Do it like that in the same graphic design and everything.
I'd probably just steal
Make it fun.
I don't know if Trey and Matt would get mad at that or not. I submitted a South Park episode idea last week, and I don't know, it looks like the legit Trey Parker, but it got on and liked it, and I was like, I'll take it. Even if it's fake. I'm like,
yeah, fuck. No, yeah, I'll take any. Yeah, I try to tag as many like celebrities and shit, and even if a fan page likes it, I'm like, I'll take it.
This profile looks pretty legit. I don't know if it is or not, and I don't know if I spout out the idea on the internet and put it out there, even though I typed it and put it on the site, but basically I wanted to martyr Cartman, and then have everybody, you know where I'm going, right? Because South Park's very topical humor. We martyred Cartman and then have everybody show up and talk about, what a great person he was. And this isn't, I got to watch what I say, because this isn't necessarily reflective of any one person or event. Once again, the opinions of me are not the opinions of anybody else.
We could just say a disclaimer every 2 minutes.
Gosh, and so that's what it amounts to. And then you have basically it's an excuse to do a flashback episode and show all the really terrible things that Cartman ever did. And then you have people just come on and yell context every time something happens. Context, and it's like, and that was basically the premise of the idea. And then I go into it. I said the heart of the episode should be, because it also revolves around all the weird censorship and canceling and all the stuff that goes on. And
Yeah, cancel culture.
Do you remember back when canceling somebody was, oh man, Nawf's an asshole, I'm not going to talk to him.
Yeah, easy.
And that was canceled.
Yeah.
I have a big mouth. And basically what it amounts to is things enter my brain and are out of my mouth before I even have a chance to think about what I'm saying. And
I see. You're stopping yourself.
Even sometimes I don't agree with them after I say them.
Oh yeah, I've been there too.
Yeah, but no, I was going to mention there are people, I guess, within even the wrestling business that to this day don't speak to me, and I don't have a whole lot to do with them because we're not going to see eye to eye. We don't like each other. Do we actively try to? Well, I don't. I don't know. I can't speak on anybody else, but do I actively try and cancel these people or get them removed from locker rooms or kicked out of them? No.
Yeah.
That's silliness. Except for, of course, the Countdown City WrestleCast.
Those guys.
I'm telling you, Countdown City. This was a match. There was a match that came out of this that's supposed to happen. What's the deal there? Outside of they suck. Is it
they suck, and my podcast is more entertaining. People seem to have more fun on my podcast, but they think that they're superior because, according to them, all I do is get drunk, and that's what it takes to make my podcast entertaining, is to be drunk. And it's annoying. I feel like I get more viewership, and they feel like they're better at their job as far as interviewing wrestlers. But,
I've seen their show. They're not. I'm on your side here. And
I didn't say it.
Because you're on my show.
You should have them on.
I've tried, and they will have none of it. And then their favorite pastime, I don't know if you've watched their show, is to sit and
I have.
insult me. So why do I want to bother?
There.
You
That's
know,
fair.
they want to sit there. What was it? I talked about the Pink situation once upon a time. And I said, no. I said, I literally brought Pink in because of her past accolades. NWA this, and she was that, and she's got quite an extensive, very impressive resume. And so I brought her on, if you will recall, at RCW as my second. When I had the Brawlers, and I had Mysterious Q, and I had Anthony, and we had all the gold. I don't have the tag belt yet. We're getting there, but that's what this beautiful empty space here is. But all the gold in RCW, and then she goes and turns around, stabs me in the back. Well, what does Big Mike have to say about that? Yeah, Big Mike goes. He goes. So what you're saying is you're easily manipulated.
That was also a good Big Mike. Holy shit.
And it's like easily manipulated. Well, she had all the accolades. I'm a smart manager. It has nothing to do with manipulation. She knows how to, be a champion. She's been a champion. People can say what they want to about Pink. They can give her all the hate in the world.
Yeah.
There are people that do. She's a former international champion. Why not have her on my team? It wasn't manipulated. And then he turns around, and it might have even been in the same episode. I don't remember. But it was like, well, but I turned that around, didn't I? And now look at me. I'm not just, the manager of champions. I'm the manager of the entire promotion. Outside of the women's division, but I'm the manager of the whole effing show at this point.
Okay.
RVD, yeah. And then again, Big Mike opens his big mouth and he says, well, everybody can fail upwards, Logan. Really? And they're like, all right, you think it's so damned easy? Let's see you do it.
Well, they are going to attempt to do it because they decided to pick Tommy Bolton, but I have David Teen.
I like David Teen. If you saw...
Me too.
If you... not very much, but I like David Teen. If there's one thing I can't stand, it's a bully. And I feel like the worst. The Texas Treats did exactly that to
Yeah.
David Teen, and that's what I tried to motivate David. If you saw RCW Honors, I picked David.
Yes, you did. I saw
the
backstage footage. I thought you picked Lance.
No, I picked David. Lance was just
I know, but
there. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had to take the Nawf P break.
Hey, speaking of, we're coming up on number 2.
We're coming, but no. So I picked David, and that's what I tried to motivate him. I'm like, please, David, don't do this. They're coming at you with, we'll give you the shirt back. You don't need them. Look at what your familia did to you, your brothers and your sister, Callie and Tita, ? I don't. And that's not just a slam at Callie and Tita trying to do the question mark thing. It's like, is she still involved? I don't. J-Wave did not come out with her at the last show. I don't know what that's about.
That's a good point. I did see that.
I'd like to get to the bottom of that as well. But no, I tried to convey that. It's like I may have done some dastardly things in my career. I don't know what they are. Uh-oh. What's up?
No, my son was calling me. Can I call him back? I'm sorry.
Yeah, hang on.
I don't know how to do this.
I think. I don't know. Did we just come back on?
Yeah. I ignored it, but I want to call him back. I don't know what he wanted.
Hang on. So David Teen gets bullied by his brothers and sister ? At the Von Erich Ranch, tossed out of there, and so it's my job to come in, and he came that close to taking that title off of Chris Marvel, and I'm proud of David. My career and David's career have intersected quite often. He's actually the one to take the international title off of Anthony Andrews.
Which was huge.
He cheated. He threw powder in Anthony.
The pop was crazy.
But, but he was the one to do that. And so, yeah, I do. I respect what David's doing, and I'm pretty sure that we've got this in the bag. And anytime you need a manager, I'm right here.
Oh, I know.
If we want to take it, to the next level, I can show up on the South Side. I lived down there.
Okay.
I'm like an honorary South Sider. But so there's that. And so this match, have we set a date and time? Will this take place?
October 5th.
October the
October
5th. There,
5th, p.m. at the Breakaway Brewing Company, 1518 East Grayson Street. We have Tall Can Listening represented by David Teen against those guys at the Countdown City WrestleCast represented by Tommy Bolton, who is, I will admit, a scary individual, in my opinion.
David's
But
got this.
yeah, I have David Teen. He's trained by the best at Hybrid.
You mean like the best?
They see that was unintentional. Fuck.
Ew.
Ugh.
Ew. No, stop it. Stop that right now. Let's see. So we talked about this. I saw this on the RCW page. Oh, actually, before I get into that, like the video game world. So while we had a short intermission here, I found this page and I shared it to my Facebook. So I'd forgotten this, but Rodney Mack is in the, no disrespect to Rodney Mack ever at all, because he could kill me.
I may have seen the post you're about to bring up.
If he doesn't kill me, his wife can. Shout out Jazz and Rodney, NWA Texas. I love you both. Before I say this, I just want you to know that. Uncle Wiggly's Wieners, proud sponsors of the National Wrestling Alliance. But so I'd forgotten that he was in a WWE video game. So
Is it about his rank? His
oh my gosh. His overall and just everything. And then like the comment section is so disrespectful, but
the
so
internet
funny.
is brutal. But if you think about it, Rodney Mack can whoop all their ass.
He didn't work out in the WWE is what it amounted to. And like I remember that was something that the guy that trained me, that we won't mention, but 5150.
I had him on Tall Can early back in the day too.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. But no, he used to bring up the 5-minute white boy challenge all the time. Like that was over with him, and I don't know why. And then somebody brings that up in the comment section, and I remember thinking this at the time, because that was what, 2005,
3, 4, or maybe maybe.
Oh, a while. Anyway, and so I remember saying this at the time. I was like, they're making this thing out of this guy. It was like a race gimmick for those of you that might not have been around. And so he was it's in the song. Here comes the Mac Militant, ready to get it on. Anyway, the song lasted longer than he did because Teddy Long carried it on for the next however long. But that was the gimmick. It was Teddy Long would come out and say just terribly racist things. And it did not age well if you watch it now.
No, not at all.
But he would come out, and then we'd have the 5-minute white boy challenge. And for those of you that don't know who I'm talking about, look up Rodney Mack. He's a lighter skinned fella. And so some of the people that he was fighting with were darker than he was, because wrestlers, if you've ever paid attention to wrestling, like, did you see Brock Lesnar at WrestlePalooza, by the way?
Oh my God.
Yeah, he had that Hogan tan.
And he was like, I have not seen him that big in ever, maybe.
Jacked. And then like that really brought to light for me, I guess I hadn't paid much attention to how much muscle mass John Cena has lost.
Yeah.
I mean,
also that match sucked.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. I guess
I've seen worse, but yeah, it was a squash, and it was like,
yeah, and I feel like I used to hate John Cena, but you grow to respect him, and I feel like he should go out better than what he's going out.
John Cena to me, it kind of reminds me of like when I was a kid. I used to like make fun of like the Backstreet Boys, NSYNC, boy bands, gross.
Now we're enemies, because I loved them as a kid.
So, well, I love them now. Well, there was a whole turning point for me on that, and that was, once I realized I can kind of sing, I can use this to my advantage. I can use this to my advantage, and so then you start singing.
And that's where I'm jealous of you, because I wish I could sing.
You start singing "Shape of Your Heart" to little girls. There's nowhere to run, I have no place to, and they're like, ah! And anyway, but no, what I was getting at was, I used to make fun of it, and I would hate on it, and I was big into Eminem, boy girl groups.
Well, no, yeah,
that was my thing. And now looking back, like I went to go see New Kids on the Block here a couple of years ago. and it was
Okay.
one of the greatest concerts I've ever seen. It was New Kids on the Block, Salt and Pepper, Rick Astley, and In Vogue, I think.
That's a random mix. I do remember. I think I remember that coming though.
Yeah, and that was just a complete random thing. It was laying around on a Saturday going, what do I want to do today? And then it's like, New Kids on the Block are coming to town. And I went, random. But then I was like, wait, is this going to be one of those, like every so often in San Antonio, it'll be like, this is the Jingle Ballers Jam. And it's like, we're having
Yes.
Coolio and like random. Yeah. And so I was like, that's exactly what it was. It was the mixtape and we went, but, no, I have a new thing, and I think a lot of it is the nostalgia of I miss that era of being a kid and hating these groups so much that I love them now. And then on top of that, it's like, I grew up listening to like Boys to Men.
Okay.
It's okay, and not even Boys to Men, okay? If we want to go there, I grew up in like a Southern gospel music world, and that's primarily quartets. What are quartets? But four dudes singing in harmony, it's the
Boys to
same.
Men. Not this Boys to Men.
So I can't hate on boy bands really that much. It's one
I
of those
love boy
things.
bands.
You look back, it's just like I don't like ketchup, but I'll eat the fat of some pizza.
I love
Spaghetti.
ketchup.
Right. But you hate tomatoes. We went through this thing the
Yes.
other day.
Yes.
Yeah, it makes no sense. So there was a point in all that. That's right, the internet. The question was asked on the RCW page, what is your favorite RCW match of all time?
I'm gonna be biased because I saw that Andrew from Breakaway Brewing had left a comment saying, "What is a dream match you have for indie wrestling?" And RCW fulfilled my dream match without knowing that they did it. But the participants knew they did it because they talked to us after and was like, we knew this was like catered. Because when I first got into RCW, my favorite and my wife's favorite was Delilah Doom. And we named our dog Doomy after Delilah Doom. And then Maddie Rinkowski came around. And right
Man.
away, she's our favorite. So when when RCW booked Maddie versus Delilah Doom, my mind was blown. I was ecstatic. Sarah, that was my dream match, and it happened. Because at that point, she's in Cali now. She's based in California.
Mm-hmm.
So for RCW to make that match happen, in like 23 it was, or 2024? No, 2023.
I know it was during my hiatus.
Yeah. So that I'm gonna say that was my favorite match based off my first RCW favorite to the present RCW favorite for me, and it made my heart full, and I was like, fuck yeah, like that was my dream match that was done and completed.
That's what it was. It was hard for me because I really liked, like, was it Epi and Fuego last year?
I wasn't there, but I saw the highlights, and holy shit.
That was so. Pink and I sit off in the corner. I do commentary now.
Yeah.
This was when we're sitting off over in the corner, and I'm glad I wasn't on commentary because you would have heard me shriek like a little girl. But I don't even remember what the move was. I just remember the moment. It's terrifying to think about now because I went in the back and I would never again. Either one of you, don't ever do that again. And I just remember Epi's head hitting, bam, the mat like this, and my neck went back like that, and I was like, yeah, I was like, that was cool. I don't ever want to see that again. But that match, and then actually the show, we had Epi versus Jesse Funaki. Yeah. And that tore the house down. And then
I can only imagine. Jesse's so good. Holy shit.
And then still am very appreciative of the match, and I was involved in this match, was that we mentioned it earlier, Mysterious Q taking on JP Harlow.
Yes.
That was an excellent match with some really cool stuff that went on in that. And of course, I got involved and I almost lost my glasses. Thankfully, Mysterious Q saved them. I'm not wearing them now, so I've reached this old man point where I can't see with them and I can't see without them. So yeah, right.
I have them on standby.
It's time for some new ones, but I'm afraid I've hit the bifocal level. I just don't want to admit it yet.
I don't even like wearing these.
I used to not wear them, and then when I'd go to the ring, and then I had to start wearing them again because I got to watch what I say. I protect the business here, kids. Basically, as a manager, I'm out there and I'd miss things. Let's put it that way.
But no, okay.
Yeah. I'd miss things, and you don't want to miss things as a manager. A good manager sees everything and knows everything that's going on, and so I'd have to wear my glasses. But yeah, during the course of that match, I believe I was that one of the times I was on the apron and somebody ducked and I got hit and knocked down, and my glasses went. And thankfully, Mysterious Q, I think, caught them because he ended up putting them back on my face after it was all
And
set.
glasses are not cheap.
No. So, I don't know, that was a good one, and actually, I can go back. Because of who is in it, it makes it difficult to mention it, but I will. I did appreciate, I think on my first or second RCW show that I ever attended, was and they love doing these, fan lumberjack strap match.
I remember
It
those.
it was Baby D and,
Say it.
I don't wanna say it in case he
I
appears,
know.
but it was Baby D and Joey Spector is who
I
it
know. Yeah,
was.
I was there.
Yeah. And I don't think at that point I'd ever seen like a woman in a strap match before. And I was impressed by that. And she took a couple of decent licks from the fans, but for the most
But
part, it was just
realistically, they wanted to hit him more than her.
absolute. Who doesn't? But
So
yeah,
I
it
mean, so
was.
that puts it all on him. No, I remember
Yeah,
being there, seeing it. I didn't get to participate because I was in front row, but I remember being like, "What the fuck?"
yeah, they lit up Spectre.
Yeah,
And because of course we did it years later with AWR, and I don't even remember who his opponent was, but I was the general manager for AWR, and that was my job, was to walk out and tell these fans, it's like, this is the rules. You can only hit the wrestlers like this. You can only do
yeah.
that.
Because
And then
some fans are gonna go crazy.
actually, the aforementioned Rod Bradley was there that night too with his own strap.
Him
It's
and his
wild
belt.
when a guy brings his own strap.
Yeah,
And I remember I had to get in his face a little bit, and I said, "You hit me, so help me, I will throw you out of this building."
and he probably just.
Yeah, he popped that sucker at me. I'm like, y'all need to quit.
I remember Rod. Yeah,
But no, so I think that one sticks out in my mind. Is just I don't know that anything exceptional happened. It was just I think my first time that I'd ever seen an intergender strap match, and I mean it's certainly not the craziest thing. I never went to like heavy metal shows or anything like that, and
man.
I know they did wild and crazy stuff
Yes,
there.
they did. They made me fall in love with. No offense to anyone else, but they're the ones who like, had me hooked. And I mean, I make it pretty known online.
Yeah.
Heavy metal had me hard.
But yeah, I mean, I know they did some crazy stuff, and I didn't. I just was never there for any particular reason, and then later on, Dunbar and I couldn't get along. So again, whatever reason, I think there's a whole lot of that. There's a whole lot of we can't get along with Logan. Why? We don't know.
Yeah.
That's
Hey, I like you, Logan. We're good.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Well, that's the other half of, when I sat down to do a podcast, again, the idea came during the hiatus, was like, part of that came out of a conversation where, well, people think that you're this, but I'm not that. But then again, I always kind of kept to myself, never talked to anybody. So I'm like, well, let's just
Yeah.
sit down and talk to people now. Let them find out that I'm just crazy. And yeah, I might have my opinions on things, but I wish that I'll say it. I wish some of these kids would get out of the 50-mile radius, and I wish some of these kids would stop overexposing themselves. There you go. And I've just made an entire
If it makes you
generation very mad at me.
if it makes you feel better, I've heard stuff about myself, and I'm like, I'm no one. But the shit I've heard about myself is like, oh, he's self-centered as a podcast host, and I was like, I mean, it's my podcast, but I'm not trying to be self-centered.
Then you sit down with me, and I literally come on the top of every show, and I'm like, it's my show. So
See, and I don't. So I've heard stuff about me, and it does get to me sometimes because I can get very emotional. I try to
yeah,
I try to. I mean, you've seen some of my posts. I let Facebook let out my feelings, and sometimes I'll delete it the next day because I'm like, probably shouldn't have let all that out.
I told somebody at the last show about something, and I said, listen, if you're going to laugh, do it on the inside. I'm very fragile.
See, I'm fragile to where I'll laugh with them, and then I'll
Yeah.
post about it later.
Well, it's like I'll laugh with you, and then like I'm going to go home and be like,
No, 100%. I get it.
but But no, it's just like saying that, you know, the thing about stop overexposing yourself and, try and work outside of the, 50-mile San Antonio radius. I get it. I understand. There are like a million awesome promotions in San Antonio. Well, I
There's a
don't know.
lot.
There's 999 now because like a couple of them are either on hiatus or completely shut down.
Or not. Never mind. I was gonna say something. Keep going.
Yeah, right. By the way, my ownership of Tone City Championship Wrestling is still a valid thing. Cushfest will happen.
Yeah, I was gonna say, hey, I was part of it. I'm waiting.
Cushfest will happen. Just wait
I'm
for
waiting because I was supposed to talk to Chelsea Green, the
another 20
Godfather.
another 25 years. I was I was gonna have a booth, and I think the Hardy Boys were supposed to hang out at my booth or something like that.
I did DM Chelsea Green and she was responding to me about like the gunshots that happened at the first show before Kush Fest. And it's funny, like I have those DMs. I'm like, she was really like, yeah, I'm glad you're letting me know. Like it doesn't seem safe. The owner should have took me off. And it like I was just like, hey, shout out Chelsea Green.
See, see, these are things that I didn't even know about. I was literally involved in this show for like that long. It was the same day I backed out of the show, I think. Because, there's Pink and she's there because she was in charge of the thing. Let's throw
Me
Pink
and
under
her,
the
yeah,
bus.
me and her on the same flyer. I remember.
Yeah. And so anyway, she's like, "Oh no, this is a legit thing, and this is this, and this is that, and so on." And I was like, I don't know. The more to me, well, I mean, it's Logan's law of, creative economics. Sometimes it's if it looks too good to be true, it probably is.
Yeah.
And the more people he added to this thing, the
It
more I
got
was
it,
like,
that's when it got very
I don't know about this. And then it was, I'm going to sponsor this. Uncle Wiggley's Wieners wants to be a sponsor, and we want to set up a food booth and a whatever. Okay, cool. Well, then he's like, well, but now it's gone beyond, the April 20th date, and we're going to do it April the 18th and April the 19th and April the 1st. And I was like, I can't bring my shit down there for 5 days, bro. I
yeah.
got a job and and then he's like, well, and then the Hardy Boys are going to this, and we're actually breaking this up, and this is going
I
to,
didn't hear about the Hardys.
yeah. And so I went like that same day. And then James Ellsworth comes on, and I don't remember if this was after or before, during the James Ellsworth thing. It doesn't matter. I was
I
like,
remember.
this isn't gonna look good if you bring
That's
this
not yeah,
guy.
it wasn't the best look.
I understand that he beat the charges, or I guess it was after. Beat the charges allegedly,
Yeah.
whatever they were, to James Ellsworth people. Please don't come after me.
He still has people. I've seen his comment section. It's crazy.
And so it doesn't matter. It's all about optics. I'm sorry. That's just how business works. Been there and done that with another company. We're not going to discuss that, but been there and done that. Optics were bad. I pulled the plug on it. That's just how it is. That's why their championship belt hangs in my restaurant right now. And so I get on the thing with, what was his, Ash McCrae?
Yes.
And I said, hey, this looks bad, and I don't know that I can have my company's name. Or then, so when I signed on to sponsor, all of a sudden I became a talent too.
Yeah.
I was gonna manage Black Rose or somebody and whatever. And I was like, this looks bad. He goes, "Well, rah, 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 rah." I said, you know what? I said, nope. I said, I want my money right now. Give me my money back.
Did he give it to you right away?
Yes,
Okay.
because
Oh, go ahead. You go first.
because I guess I threw a bigger fit and he was more afraid of me because I guess, not the typical wrestling crowd that he's used to. And I'm not meaning that to sound any sort of way. I'm a lot more serious business, I guess, when I want to be.
Yeah.
And, yeah, Logan Pettis is more than just a character, folks. That's me for the most part.
No,
Actually, I will say I think I'm a little nicer again than what I portray on television, but that's still Logan Pettis. That's me, I guess, when you get me good and pissed off.
yeah.
And a lot of times that's what it is. I've been told before, bring that fire, and then I get in trouble for it after I bring the fire. I called Callie and Tita the B word, and boy, I never heard the end of it. Callie thought it was great, but
No, yeah.
Callie wasn't upset at it at all, but yeah, no, I got in trouble, and it was like, don't say those words on the replay.
Well, no, it's because the way society and cancel culture are today.
Yeah. So anyway, yeah, I guess I turned into a monster and scared the hell out of him because my money was back. It wasn't back like immediately, but within the next day. And I think part of that was I immediately called like Pink and I said, get my money now.
No, okay, that's what I was gonna say. I want to give her a shout out because, um, me and my old co-host X being naive, new, it was like season one. I
Hmm.
was like, this is a big opportunity. I convinced him to put money in so we can be part of the show, commentate, and then everything went south. And then Pink messaged me, is like, look, we're in a group chat. I'm gonna get you your money back because I'm about to tell him, like, if you don't, like, give them their money back, you're fucked, because I know stuff and information. And I saw her send the messages, and then within 2 days, me and my buddy X got our money back. And I was like, I'm forever to Pink. Thank you,
I was,
because that
as much as I can hate and rip on Pink for being old and loud and ridiculous. No, Pink always knows somebody that knows somebody that
yeah,
knows she's that person and like she will get stuff done. And that's why I had her on my team once again. Again, it had nothing to do with she manipulated me to do anything until she manipulated and politicked her way into getting me kicked out of the company. But I'm back now. I run things. We run things together. You know, we had our little scrap over the Callie and Tita Alejandra thing, which I still say I was 100% right on. And Callie and Tita's a thieving little you know what. And there you go. All right. I see her and I love her too. So it's been fun getting to watch her come up. So all of that. I was gonna get into video games. And I had a point with the thing and the deal. And what do you think about 2K25?
WWE.
Before we take this thing home.
I got it, but I'm mainly like playing a GM mode because I want to be you.
Right. So graphically, it is not my favorite thing in the world. All the wrestlers
Yeah,
look off. And
yeah.
I notice it, and it's because, again, I think it's because I'm familiar with this person, but like I'm playing if you play through like My Rise,
Okay.
if you played the like storyline at all, the My Rise with the mutiny takeover and all that stuff.
Yeah,
Yeah, so there's a spot where you've got Roxy, and
it was
first of
bad.
all, she's not a voice actress.
Well, now I gotta play it because I want to hear it, but I've only gone straight to GM mode. I'm just there.
She's not a voice actor. In fact, her and like my other favorite is like Charlotte Flair, who just reads these lines as they are, and here and
Monotone.
there. Yeah. And so anyway, and you get Roxy has got a kind of like weird shaky voice. I don't know how to explain it. And so she does her thing. But that's beside the point. Whatever. They're wrestlers, they're not actors. But the character model for Roxanne Perez, it's like that weird uncanny valley like Polar Express kind of a thing.
Okay,
It's almost her, but
but
something
it's
is just
yes,
slightly off.
throws it
And
off.
it's unsettling to look at. And then once I noticed it with her, I noticed it with
You start,
everyone.
yeah, nitpicking.
In particular, like, okay, the last 2K game I bought was 2K22. And the character models on that, okay, Hulk Hogan, let's pick on Hulk Hogan in particular. They use the same face model and body model for every version of Hulk Hogan. Like, it doesn't.
And yeah, and it doesn't make sense because it's like, no, you gotta like match the decade, the age.
Right. So 80s Hogan looks like, I think they've got '02 Hogan or something like that. They look identical. And
Yeah.
I'm like, this doesn't work for me. I mean, never mind for 50 years he came out and did the same bit, but
No, but yeah, and as far as looks,
yeah. And even it seems like people can't. So again, in 2K2, I remember playing it. They had Hogan, and I remember I downloaded a WCW version of Hogan, and they managed to get
okay.
his face. They could get his face right. Even that's the other part. Even with the face texturing, they can't seem to get it right. Even the creators, like Watch the Status and them, can't seem
And
to.
you would think they would nail it, but
Yeah, It's weird. It's like I said, it's some strange uncanny valley. And then I don't like all of the roster space that's been wasted with we have to have every possible version of somebody ever.
Yeah, no, that's annoying.
I'm not going to be playing as Rocky Maivia.
No,
I
if
I do
anything,
not.
I'm gonna be playing as Hollywood Rock.
Right.
But
There's
that was my favorite version of him.
there are Hollywood Rock or like Final Boss Hollywood Rock.
No, I enjoyed like Hollywood Rock.
Like 2003.
03 Hollywood Rock.
Because I do kind of like the Final Boss.
No, I
You
do
know,
too. But you made me pick one.
yeah. But yeah, I don't know why we need 137 different versions of Rhea Ripley.
Some people will disagree.
Well, right. I get it. I get it. She's hot and whatever, but it's like Rhea Ripley 2010. I'm like,
Yeah,
who cares?
no, that makes sense.
I have enjoyed my faction on this more than I ever have before.
I guess I need to dip into the game more because I like I said,
And
I went straight for GM mode. I like the idea of drafting a roster, spending money. Like I like being in control.
yeah,
Like same thing of
yeah.
like NBA. On the NBA games, I do GM mode too. I like doing trades and signing free agents, and I like numbers.
I have learned through GM mode that I am apparently an overspender.
Me too.
I go my shows with all kinds of gimmick nonsense, but now you know what RCW would look like if I were given an unlimited budget. I would spend all of Brandon Oliver's money just to please myself because if they want to call Brandon Oliver the Vince McMahon of the indie wrestling scene, I am the Vince Russo of the indie wrestling scene.
That's fair.
And I'm like, bro, I got this great idea.
Hang something from that turnbuckle and go grab it.
If we got Callie and Tita on a pole match.
There.
Let's go. Callie and Tita or let's see, Emi Camacho. She's the other second smallest person I can think of on our roster.
Oh yeah, for sure.
I want to see but I want to see, here I was like, we're going to wrap this up real quick. But no, I want to see, this got me interested. The last show, there was a three-way match. It was Callie versus Emmy versus Ray Lynn.
Oh yeah.
And Callie and Emmy teamed up through most of that match to
I
take
saw
on
the
Ray
highlights
Lynn.
of that. Yeah.
And I want to see this tag team. Now that we have this women's tag team division that Pink has put together, I want
Yeah.
to see Callie and Emmy actually as a tag team. I mean, they don't have to like each other. They just have to have chemistry and be
Yeah,
able to
just
work
make it
together.
work.
And I would love to see that, the double champions coming at it and
Oh yeah.
doing,
It'd be like a Stone Cold and Triple H in the early 2000s where they had
yes,
the
the
tag
two-man
belts
power.
and then yeah.
I liked that team up until Hunter got hurt. Yeah.
Yeah.
But had
100%.
Hunter not gotten hurt, we wouldn't have got to see that sweet denim on leather combination
Yeah.
that we got.
Yep.
Anyway, so there's that. What else you got coming up? Anything special? Big episodes of the show?
Yeah, we have obviously the match at Breakaway Brewing Company. As far as guests coming along, man, I have my calendar, but it's on the phone. Claudia Tita is supposed to come in October. We got another podcast called Amazi's World coming through. I think he's actually the #1 podcast in San Antonio. It's a
Wow.
hip hop podcast.
Okay.
We got a vintage Danny Vintage coming through. There's a lot planned. Like Brock Ali is coming through.
Brock Ali.
Yeah, he's coming in October. So yeah, there's stuff planned. I'm excited. It's gonna be a fun way to wrap up the year.
Speaking of big dates, I mentioned Raul and Donna of Raul's Sports Store out at Rolling Oaks Mall.
Yeah, what they've announced today.
Just announced today. What is that? I think it's October the 6th. Sting! December. Yes, December. My bad. Yeah, Sting is coming. I don't know what that is going to be about. I saw it's like some WrestleCon or something like that.
I already looked up the pricing and everything because it's out there, and I was like, hey, I might have to do it because to have him at Rolling Oaks is crazy, especially at a different store. No, that was too far. Never mind.
Right. I know what you're talking about.
All right.
Yeah. Do we need to talk about that too?
No, we don't. We're good.
No, we'll leave that alone.
Yeah.
But it's the mall guy. I was trying to find Sunday, November the 3rd. It was the date I was looking for, and that is going to be RCW Acceleration from the Good Shepherd Lutheran Activity Center. Once again, Brandon can get his money's worth out of that acceleration graphic. I feel like last year's acceleration, I saw that graphic way too much.
Oh, can I ask you a question?
Go for it.
Are they not running at the Grand Event Center like ever again?
I don't know.
I only asked because I live 2 minutes away and it was so convenient
It's
and I miss it.
close to the house. Hey, I feel that. I miss them running in Kirby where it was like,
Yeah. No, okay.
20,
Everyone has their
20.
everyone has their preferences, but I miss that because I was like, I can drive around the corner.
But that's something that I would like to see implemented with RCW. I don't know if you know where Brandon Oliver's house is, because it's not too far from either one of those venues.
I think he told me when I had him on Tall Can.
Yeah. I've been over there. Yeah, it's not too far. So I wish we could. I would like to broaden our audience a little more. It seems like, and I'm not complaining in any sort of
No,
way.
I'm not complaining too. I'll drive if I have to, but I like
Again,
to. I'm being spoiled and was like, this was right around the corner. I loved it.
these are my opinions. I'm just the general manager of the show. I oversee wrestlers. I have very little to do with like booking venues and facilities. Okay,
No,
let's
yeah. I had to ask.
say that. No, we'll talk about it on the thing here. I wish we could kind of add maybe 1 to 2 more rows to each show, and possibly there are bigger venues in town that are still, I think, smaller. There's got to be. I don't know if they're wrestling friendly venues. Again, I'm opening my mouth about stuff that I probably don't know anything about. I've booked events and things like that. Again, it's my job to put together the show for RCW. It's Brandon's job to, foot the bill. But I think that's something that we could do, and I would like to see it move around town to get to everybody.
Yeah.
I want
No,
to
but like I
see.
said, I've driven out there too. Like it's fine, but like I said, I'm spoiled. I was like, oh, this is
Yeah.
nice.
Oh no. And it seems like, and no, I'm not gonna. Okay.
No, all right, all right.
No. It seems like out of all the venues, I would say at least Good Shepherd is kind of in the middle. It's more centrally located
Yeah,
versus being over here, and you gotta. I know the thing in San Antonio is, oh, you gotta go all the way down there and take a SeaWorld exit,
yeah.
and I'm like,
It's
bro,
always it's always road exit.
I took that SeaWorld exit to go home. I don't know. I would like to see them, move around to different
I just
locations.
had I was just that was my one gripe. I was like, I got spoiled for like
No,
2 years. I was like, hell yeah.
I understand that. I understand that completely. Well, like I said, when I first started watching RCW, going to RCW events, yeah, they were there at the Turner Club in Kirby, and
Oh
I
yeah,
was like,
that bowling alley. That
yeah,
yeah. We used to drive out there, Retama Park. Like yeah,
I'd love to
that's when
see
I
us
started
come back
going.
to Retama Park. Somebody I saw Black Rose had pictures of him working somewhere for at Retama Park, and it brought back RCW memories. That
Yeah.
was the Godfather, and I think Rikishi maybe, and
Yep.
that
Yep.
was the
I
show.
was there. I was there for that.
It was the first show where RCW had Ross and Marshall, Von Erich, when they
Oh
teamed
man,
with.
I guess I don't remember that.
Oh my goodness, the promotion. They were up in Dallas. It wasn't WCCW, but I feel like they were trying to poach off the world.
Oh, you're right. Yeah, because I was there for that. They had like Jeff Jarrett, I think, and John Morrison, or am I tripping?
Like Scott Steiner or somebody
Yes,
there.
and MVP and Chavo. It was stacked.
Yeah.
It was a combined show.
Yeah.
I remember
And
that. I was there. I have I saw those pictures the other day.
I can't remember what the promotion was called.
World Class Championship Wrestling, probably.
No, that's WCCW. But it was something like that. It was World Class something or other. Because that's what I say.
Okay, yeah.
They were hitting on that idea, and then the Von Erichs were their stars.
Yes, you're right. That's crazy. Yeah.
I want to say maybe Troy Markham was involved. I don't know. Somebody's gonna hammer me later for mentioning the wrong names, but that's what the internet's for. Man, I wish I could remember. Anyway, I'm gonna have to go back in the archive now and do some digging around. So that's what you got going on for Talkin. That's what's coming up for RCW. That's our final show for the year. Is Acceleration. Anything else you need to get over?
No, just my podcast. I mean, a like, share goes a long way. Even a comment.
Yes, please. Smite thine like button and all your dreams will come true, as Spencer Smith says.
I mean, and comments too, and like I said, I see the view. The views are high, but the comments are low. So let's try that. If you see it, just hit like or something.
And if you could make the views high for my show at the same time, that would be fantastic.
Hey,
Please.
you gotta start posting clips.
I'm not good with the.
It's hard work. It's hard work, but
I don't even have like a TikTok. I don't.
oh man, yeah. I post all my clips on TikTok and YouTube Shorts and Instagram Reels.
I don't have time for it, and I don't understand how it works.
No, it's very time consuming.
If I had, like a 10-year-old, I could probably be like, "Hey, get on this."
They won't understand it either.
Slave labor.
My 10-year-old right now, this is her 6'7", and I'm like, I don't understand it.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
When I was
clip it.
When I was a kid, 69 was the funny number.
Exactly. Now they're just like 6'7". I don't know.
What does that mean?
I don't know.
I had this. I feel like this is the same circular. This is how we know we're getting old. We had the same discussion with a good friend of mine here a few years back about TikTok dances, because he says to me, he goes, we went back to his kid was at the skating rink, and it was one of those times that I went up home to my parents and we're there, and that's where we used to hang out. And he goes, watch this, man, this is the damnedest thing. He goes, they play little snippets of these songs, right, and these kids get in the middle of the thing and they just go crazy. He goes, watch this. And so they play like 15 seconds of an AC/DC song, and they're like, what are y'all doing?
That's insane.
And then he goes, they call it TikTok.
Well, yeah, okay.
And I went, what the
It's
hell?
all about viral clips and moments.
I guess. I don't know anything about viral clips. I've accepted that I'm an old man now.
Trust me, if you just try to post some reels, something's gonna pop off. I've had clips pop off.
If I did anything entertaining, that would be one thing.
Grab something from here, I guess.
We're gonna quick say something controversial, Nawf.
K-pop Demon Hunters is ass, and I don't know why all the kids are into it.
Don't know what that means, but yes.
Clip it.
We're going to make that happen. Well, folks, I'm going to get Zach Shineri to play us off. I want to say thank you, Nawf, for coming on the show. Everybody, make sure you go check out Talk and Listening. And can you buy these?
Just message me. I got you. Message me.
Okay. So, yeah, message Nawf. He'll get you Talk and shirt if you like these very handsome Talk and shirts. And check out the show October the 5th. Check out RCW on November the 23rd. Check out my thing on the Disney deal. I'm all over YouTube. I feel I'm either drinking something or Disneying something, or yeah, we're having a hoot on YouTube. So from the boss of the ring, Logan Pettis Show, Talk and Listening, for Nawf Ramos. Till next time, we'll see you around.
Sure.
Anthony Andrews, 3 years strong, international champ, where the legends belong. River City pride in every fight, with my plan in motion, we own the night. Rule book in my hand, I'm keeping it clean, but somehow I'm still the villain on the scene. They can cheer or boo, either way I win, 'cause I make the calls and I call them again. I'm the GM, baby, no one better.